Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Perpetual Tech Noobs 1 Hour Algo Challenge. You know what we came here to do. Let's go build something. Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Amari, your Perpetual Tech Noob, learning more with you. Hey, I'm back at it again. I'm not sure if you can see the date on my computer when this gets edited, but I finished eating dinner and I'm quite upset about that last failure. I think LeetCode has been slapping me around on purpose and I really don't appreciate it. So I want to go for another algo challenge before the day's done. As a matter of fact, as much as things are telling me to go for easy, it'll be too much like admitting defeat, and I don't appreciate that. So I'm gonna run it. Let's go. Oh, medium. Let's go. Count subarrays where max element appears at least k times. You are given an integer array, nums, and a positive integer, k. Return the number of subarrays where the maximum element of nums appears at least k times in that subarray. A subarray is a contiguous sequence of elements within an array. Okay, let's go to the constraints, because I'm not going to say that I totally understand that yet, but we're going to go through the constraints and some examples and figure it out, right? The constraints. Num's length is between 1 and 100,000. What's the word I'm looking for? Inclusively. Thank you. Whoever said that. All right. Num's I is any number between 1 and 1 million inclusively. And K is any number between 1 and 100,000 inclusively. Let's say in example 1, nums is 13233, and the output is 6. I can see that this 132 would be 6, and then 3 and 3 would be 6. Explanation of subarrays that contain the element 3 at least 2 times. Whoa. Okay, so that is okay. So I was getting it totally wrong. You are given an integer array, nums, and a positive integer k. Return the number of subarrays where the maximum element of nums, the maximum element, which would be 3, okay, appears at least k times. Okay. So one, 3, 2, 3, of course. Oh, at least. Wow. So it could be more. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, the entire array. And then when you're starting from the second, 3, 2, 3 will be 1. And then 3, 2, 3, 3 will be the next one, which makes sense. And then when you move past that, you have the 2, 3, 3, right? You reach the end, so we might as well move one further. And then you have the 3, 3, and of course, one by itself would not make any sense. Okay, example 2, 1, 4, 2, well, that's 0 because 4 is the maximum number and it only appears one time in the entire array. Okay. My intuition. What I'm going to do is something similar to what they showed here. I'm going to start with the first item And let's say if I use I and J as indices, pardon me, I would have J at least K items away, right? So in this case, you could have 1, 3, 2, right? If the max number, well, that's one thing. I will definitely have to find the max number as well first. If that number appears within that, of course, the variable that I will have to create to keep score would automatically have one added to it. If not, then we'll move on. We'll move J over one item every time and see if we have the max number appearing more than once in that. Now, if I do have the max number, I finally get a point where the max number appears K amount of times before the index is before I finish running through the items of the list, what I can do is say whatever J is, so maybe I'll have to make another variable to say the amount of items, not the amount of items in a list, but the index of the last item, right? So wherever J is, where it finally meets the condition for this particular sequence, this particular iteration of the loop, I will have it where that any remaining numbers, right? I'll count the amount of remaining numbers, and then I'll instantly add that to the output, right? Now, after that, I will have to continue through the loop, adding 1 to I, so that we will start after that. And of course, I will have it where that J equals I plus K, right? I'll check to see if we meet the conditional. And once we do, then of course I will subtract where J is from where the last index is. I think I might have to add 1 to that. We're going to find out during time. And then I will continue on with the loop, right? Moving I over every time. So as you can see, writing things out, especially me and my slow typing, it takes a lot of time, right? And I end up losing a good 15 minutes usually. So I'm just going to try to start right now. Okay, so first of all, I would equal 0. J would equal I think I might want to have J equal I plus K inside of the while loop. So there was another thing I was supposed to have, which is a total. Total subarrays. Right? Is there anything else I need? Last index I said was going to be basically the number, the index number of the last item. So that is easily the length of nums minus 1, right? Is there anything else? Oh, and I will also need the highest number in that list. So max nums equals max of nums, right? Now I said I was going to do a while loop. While I is less than last index minus k. If I said it was less than max index, it will go up to the second to last item, right? So minus k plus 1, right? No, minus k. And that that difference, I'll have to plus 1, right? So let's try this out. While I is less than last index minus k plus 1. The first thing I want to do is tell them the placement of j. And like I was saying earlier, j will equal I plus k. So if I was at 0, you would want j to be 2, right? It wouldn't have to be 2, because what if I could get it in this first set? So wouldn't it be k minus 1? J equals k minus 1. Because if I need 2 items, but then again, if I do it exclusively and k is the and all right, if I do it exclusively, if I just do let's say a list iteration, if I do a slice, pardon me, and k is in this case 2, right? We're just starting. Then really and truly they'll own, because it's exclusive, they'll look at the first 2 items. So, but then again, how will I get it to look at the last item? No, because in this case, where this would be index 4, if I say k is 5, then it will be fine because it will be exclusive. So let's just keep j at I plus k. Okay? And I'll have to remember that this is, that j will be used in slices and it will be exclusive. So what I'm going to do, well, first of all, at the end, I will have to say j plus equals 1, right? At the end, before the loop reiterates, but see, I will have j equals I plus k here. Should I put this outside? If I put this outside, right? When the while loop comes, if I reach the last thing with J, the last item with J, if I reach the last item with J, I will want I to plus equals 1, and then it will come back. I don't want to make a while loop inside of a while loop, even though that would probably be the best move while J is less than the length of nums. I can do that, but seeing it as a medium, I think that that time constraint is going to be a problem. So J plus equals 1. How about this? I'll throw this back out. Leave it on the outside just to start with, right? And if it's going to start, then and I is 0 at the beginning, then J can just equal K. And here I'm going to have J plus equals 1, and I'll have a conditional to reset that and push up I if I reach the length of nums. If, let's have that too. Nums length. Nums length, of course, equals the length of nums. And I'm kind of cheating because I stopped halfway through typing before, and so I can explain my line of code. But my rules say that I explain my code before finishing that line. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage. After I add 1 to J at the beginning, at the end of whatever I'm doing, well, let me not deal with that yet. If J equals nums length, then I'll reset everything. So, meaning, shouldn't say reset. What I will do is I will add 1 to I, and then I'm gonna have J equal I plus K, so that we could reset. Basically, we could iterate over it again. Okay, so let's do this. If J is equal to nums length, the only reason why I put it out here is because nums length instead of just having length of nums in here. I don't need to be doing that calculation every single time I'm going through this while loop. We'll go through it a lot, right? No, not here. Nums length. We'll go through it a lot, possibly. So if I have the that item saved away, if I have that value saved away, I can always just look back at it without having to do that calculation constantly. So if J is equal to nums length, what we're going to do is I plus 1 plus equals 1, right? We're going to add 1 to I, and we're going to reset J to equal I plus K. When it's all said and done, we're going to be returning total subarrays. Okay, so this line is faulty already. At the end, we're going to say J plus equals 1. Now, let's go through the process. if what we're going to do, we're going to slice nums between I and j exclusively to j, and we're going to give a count of how much times the max nums is shown in there. So if nums I to j dot count max nums is equal to k, total subarrays will get 1, will plus equal 1. Total subarrays you know what? Semantics, me and semantics. Subarrays, that is spelled correctly, right? Okay. Well, at least I spelled it the same, I should say. I don't even want to say plus equals 1. Plus equals max nums minus j Let's look at it. Let's look at that. Not max nums minus j, nums length. Pardon me. I should take a point off for that. Let's just write it out for now, and I could look at it and change it later. And if that's the case, if j is greater or equal to num's length, whoops, because if I add that number here, right, because the next thing, I was going to do, if that's the case, if I found out that, I should say greater or equal to, if it's equal to k, just to be safe, even though that can't be possible, especially, well, let me stop with the indecisive ways. Just to be safe, I'll say greater or equal to k. Total subarrays plus equals num's length minus j, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. So if, let's say that these two were 3s, right? I would want to add that 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I had 5 minus the 2, that wouldn't be proper. It would be j minus j minus 1, pardon me. So that would be the same thing as num's length minus j plus 1. And if that's the case, then I would want to I would be basically finished with that particular subarray that starts with wherever currently I is. I would want to jump further in the list. So what I would do it's a J plus equals I could make this into a variable because it looks like I'm gonna have to use it twice. Right, and regardless of what, I could have the J plus equals 1 afterwards, and by the time if this happens, I would want it to be past the length anyway, so that when I get here, it will reset, right? Not reset, it will go through the next iteration and move I up a little bit and reset J to a number K above I. So let's try that. Remaining chances equals num length minus J. Let's say in this case, because it's exclusive, that's why I had to add the 1 after it. Let's say in this case, num length minus J, right? 5 items minus 2 because it's exclusive, so it would be 2 right now. That will be 3. That will count for these 3 items in the back, but it wouldn't count for this one. So I'll have to add the 1 for this one. Now, that being the case, I could replace this, right? Because it's just being repeated, of course. That's why I made the variable. And I will have this as well, J plus equals remaining chances, right? To count for the rest, because I already added those into total subarrays. And then when we get out of that if statement, J was already boosted up to the max it could be. Matter of fact, wouldn't that be more? Remaining chances, let's say I had 3 and it was 2, it'll go to 5. So it will be basically num's length already. And then you'll get 1 added to it, but it wouldn't matter because I said if J is greater or equal to num's length, then we will reset I by adding 1 more to it. Sorry. We'll go through the next iteration, but we'll go through it after we boost I up 1 level and then we boost J back. Sorry. We reset J to be K items in front of I or behind I, whatever way you want to look at it. It's kind of funny, but that might be it. J equals K. What is that? J equals I plus K. I don't know which one of y'all caught that beforehand, but thank you for sending that to me through the airwaves, through the EMF. Okay. J equals I plus K. Right? I want to throw some print statements in here, but I'm already halfway through my time. So I'm going to run this on these 2 first test cases, and we'll see where it lands me. I'm sure you've noticed that I've been taking off points even when I run tests if it was bad. I know that I said that I wouldn't do that, but what I'm really supposed to be doing is learning how to do this on paper and really look over it before I try to hand in an answer. Because there's going to be places where you have to do whiteboard technical assessments, right? And you're going to have to look over your work first. So I got 4 and they expected a 6. So what was the situation? That was in the very first one. And the second one, of course, that was 0. Okay. That's something else I could say. I could give a count at first. That's one thing. And it will help save time in the times that max number is not in the whole array more than, k times. So let me try that before anything. Well, let's say, how about this? I got max nums here. It wouldn't really matter too much of me just making a bunch of variables. But when it comes to timing, right, it will be the loops that would take the time and whatever calculations in there. So let's say max nums occurrence, total max nums, total max nums. Total max nums is going to equal the amount of time max nums occurs in nums. So nums.count max nums, right? And if total max nums is less than k, then I'm gonna cut the program short and return 0 automatically. If total max nums is less than k, return 0. So that should stop it short. In the case of 2, I know it says 0 runtime, but that's because it's a small set. So it was easy for it to traverse it regardless. But if total max nums is less than k, then we just cut the program short and return it 0. Now, let's see why this didn't work. We got 4 instead. So print statements. I'm going to print I. Whoops. And I'm also going to print J. Hello. And I'm also going to print out total subarrays too. Whoops. Okay. And then we have J plus 1 here. If J, well, I'll get to find out J before this comes into play. So what I also want to know is last index. Did I even use last index? While I is less than last index minus k plus 1? If that's the case, then I might as well say num's length minus k. Let's do that. Because it'll be, let's say 5, and in this case it'll be 2. So if it's at 3, right, you do have 2 items. So maybe that should be plus 1 anyway. I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to run it right now and see what they're telling me. Okay. In this situation, because it's nums I to j, so here, of course not. Then when j came here, of course not, because j is now 3. So it's being exclusive. I'm at from I, which is 0, to 1 and 2, right? And then when it hit here, you had 0 and 6. Well, that's because I added the stuff after. But regardless of what, total subarrays was 2 and not 3. When it reached here, 1, 2. So that's correct. That's correct. You didn't have it here, you had it here. Once you had it here, they added this, and they added this as well, right? Because regardless of what number this was, seeing that it was already, the condition was already reached, adding this, making j move over 1 more is still going to be the same. We'll still have enough in there to satisfy the conditional. So yes, 2 was correct. And then I went to 1, starting from here, and j was it was 3 away, so it was 3. Sorry, it was 2 away, so it was 3. So I, and then, hold on. I was 1 and j was 3. I need to do the I and the j before I add. Before I add anything in this particular situation. That might give me a better inkling into what's going on. The time just goes. The time just runs. Oh boy. Okay. 20 minutes left. Okay. You had j at 2. It didn't work. You had j at 3. Counting these 3 items, right? Because the 3 was exclusive. it didn't work. When J got to 4, which of course is exclusive, so just counting these, it did work. So they counted it 2. There go my pipes again. We love the heat over here, the young lady. Anyway, none of your business, right? Someone's at home like, TMI, man, TMI. So we counted it 2. And then through our calculations, we end up increasing I to 1. And then plus 2 would be 3. So it went from 1 to 2 and exclusively. So that was wrong. I mean, it's not wrong. It didn't do anything, right? Right, so it didn't add any more. And then when it reached 4, it was covering those 3 items, and it did work. And then they added another 2 because this would have also been one of them. So, and then 4, and then 5. Hold on. Now, when I got moved over to 2, and you had 2 to 4 index 4, 2 to index 4. So exclusively, it was covering these 2 items, right? Nothing happened. No, 2 and 4. That's this one we're looking at. Nothing happened. And then we covered that, and it added the 1. So it looks like I didn't go further enough. While I is less than num's length minus k. I should have said less than or equal to num's length minus k plus 1. But if it's less than num's length minus k, right? Am I getting confused? I think I'm getting confused. Check it out. All right, we know, I believe that the rest of those work. The last thing was 2 and 4. I know, it just looks like I'm just reaching in the dark here, and I apologize to do that to you. Less than or equal to num's length k plus I. Wouldn't that give me an issue though? Num's length minus k plus 1. Pardon me. I'm off of it. Frustrated and flustered. 17 minutes left. Let's try them out. Okay, so there's something wrong with me evidently, and my code evidently too. So you had 4 to 6. 4 to 6. Hold on. Yeah. And problem 1, case 1. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need to breathe and think. While I is less than when we had it here, 4 to 6, right, was the last one. Three to 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 5 is here. Hold on, is that it? Because that definitely, oh no, that should add 1 more. Where was I missing one? when you got here, that was 1. So of course, this one added to it would be 2. When you got to this one, that was... So the first one, because really and truly, yeah, that was 2. This was 2. The 2, 3, 3 should have been 1 as well. And the 3, 3 should have been 1. Oh, I'm adding too much to it, so it automatically, right? Because I got to 3, and that added 1 to it, 3 to 5. Over here, it was 2 to 4. Hold on. That's 1. And that's 2. Because 2 to 4 is 1, and then 2 to 5 is another 1. So that's correct as well as far as I could see, right? When I was 1 and J was 4, that was 1. How come that didn't add? 1 and 3 didn't add anything because it's exclusive. So that would have been index 1, index 2. Fine. So this one, and then added 2. So that's correct as well. Which one am I missing? I was 0. J was 2. 2 items. Nothing. I was 0. J was 3. 3 items. Nothing. You'd think my stomach would be happy after we ate. It's always yelling at me. Okay. Or grumbling, I should say. Rumbling and grumbling. What was I? I was 0. And J was 4. So we got a hit, and then we added 2. We added 2 to that, right? 1 and 2. Now, I got moved over to 1, and then we had 1 and 2 because it was J was 3 and it's exclusive. So that was nothing. Fine. Then we moved over 1 to 4, which was 3 items, and we got a hit of 2. 1, 2. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 3. Fine. And then we went over it again. We added 1 more to I. So we're starting here now. And from this to 4, to index 4, which is 2 items, nothing, no hit. And then you had, so it looks like the very last, right? Hold on. From 2 to 4, didn't do anything, right? And then what happened to 2 to 5? What happened to 2 to 5? How about I say this? I give it an else statement. Else j plus 1. If this happens, good. If it doesn't, j plus 1. I don't see that being any different. I really don't. And 10 minutes left, and I am reaching in the dark now. Oh, well. Silly goose. Don't laugh at me. Don't you dare, okay? I mean, you're supposed to be friends. You can feel free to laugh, of course. Same issue. Same issue. Once two to 4 hit, and 2 to 4 didn't hit, but 2 to 5 was supposed to hit once. And that's what I don't think that one hit, because 3 to 5 did hit, but 2 to 5 didn't hit. So I didn't want to put a while loop, extra while loop in here, but if I said else j plus 1, it didn't hit, so else j plus equals 1. Num's length, no, that's not an issue. I never hit, no, it doesn't matter there because I skipped past certain parts. This one, since this didn't hit, I should have had a +1 so that it'll be I was 2 and j equals 5. What happened there? Because this didn't hit, so it's supposed to be j plus equals 1. And if j plus equals 1, if j is greater than or equal to num's length, then I reset the situation. I feel like that's going to end up giving me problems later on, though. But it did run fine, and I got 7 minutes left. So, whew. I'm tired of filming these algo challenges. Oh, I'm glad it wasn't another issue. Okay, these two could go, right? You, and you. Okay, let's try it again. Come on, it's a single while loop. You can't tell me I'm too slow. Time limit exceeded. And I'm skipping. Wow. Not another failure. I can't take this, man. Time limit exceeded. Remaining chances. Maybe doing that calculation? No, but that's once every time I get a hit for the rest of that array length. J plus equals remaining chances plus 1. I know that wouldn't really even do anything, but just to make sure it's more than num's length and you don't go over it again. And are you telling me it passed this time? Come on. There's no time to refactor, so that's already 30 points off. Time limit exceeded. Wow. There's got to be something else I could do. Because I have to start from the beginning, because that would be a subarray. Even if I don't get to the numbers I need until way down, like get the amount of that max number until way down, I will still have to count from the beginning down here as a subarray every single time. So not only this one, but not only from this one on, but later on from this one on, and then later on from this one on until I get to that. So maybe I'm gonna have to keep a memo of where the first time, the index of the first time I hit, the index of the first the first time I seen that max num. Maybe I could start there, and then evidently I'm not going to have time to refactor this into what I'm thinking, but I'll just tell you what I'm thinking anyway. I will start, I'm going to find the index of max num. Sorry about the alarm. I'm going to find the index of max num. I silenced my phone, but the alarm still come through. I'm going to find the index of max nums. As long as total max nums, as long as total max nums is greater than k, then I'll be able to go through it. So what I'm going to do is have to start with the first time I see max nums, and I'll start doing my things from there, right? And then I can add the amount of, it wouldn't really be only about, let's say for the first time, the very first time, I'll start with the index that max num represents, right? With that, the first time we encounter max nums, I'll start with that. And then I'll say the first time that I get a hit, right? The first time the conditional is met, by that time, total subarrays will still be 0. So if I could say if total subarrays is 0 when this conditional is hit, what I will do is subtract I from num's length, and I will also add that to the score, so that if they don't start giving me max nums till somewhere down here, I won't have to go through, let's say if K was 2, but max nums didn't even start showing up till down here. I don't have to go here and then go here and then go here and, and keep increasing it until I finally get down to max nums somewhere down here. Right? And I'm just going to say this before my time totally runs out. Let's say instead of that, when I find, no, because K is not always 2, so forget that. I think that last idea I had was good. And with 51 seconds, y'all have just watched yet another horror show. I hope you had popcorn. All right. My peoples, my perpetual learners, I hope you are perpetually learning from all these failures. I'll have to see you next time. All right? Next time I'll probably try it easy. We'll see. Do we really have to check the scorecard this time? Without a successful submission, it's an automatic fail. Wow, sorry to put you all through that. A whole hour just to watch me flounder around and fail. But hopefully you can learn something from this too. Wish me the best of luck for next time. All right, y'all. Till next time, you know how it goes. Keep building.